tend to think of teacher mobility as a one-time choice, a terminal career move that takes a teacher away from a school or program. But we don't often give teachers credit for making complex career decisions to better their situation. That's where the emerging study of migration comes in. Our study provides some historical context for teacher migration in SBAE by looking at California's 100-year ag teacher history.
Mobility among less experienced teachers occurs at 1.5 to 2.5 times that of their more experienced peers. This is vital for SBAE as our population of less experienced teachers is 2 times that of the national teaching population. SBAE's overall mobility rate mirrors that of the United States workforce and education more broadly, and according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average worker in the U.S. moves 11 times over the course of a career. That's a move every 3 to 4 years over a 40-year career.
Lordy and others remind us teaching as a profession doesn't have a built-in system of upward mobility that keeps people in the classroom. Opportunities to better one's position in education take teachers out of the classroom. Yet the general education research tells us mobile teachers are less effective by a variety of measures than their geographically stable colleagues. Fessler and Christensen demonstrate that teachers move through a series of emotional stages within their careers in relation to their personal environment, organizational environment, and career cycle. We don't know what career decisions tend to make up a teaching career in school-based agricultural education. Quantifying these decisions helps administrators, researchers, and state FFA staff provide support to migrating teachers. We used California's ag teacher history from 1900 to 2018. To focus on migrators, we kept any data points for teachers who made at least one program move within SBAE without leaving teaching in between moves.
In considering these data points as professional career choices, attrition is the only career choice that captures leaving teaching. The retention rate of migrators is 1.5 times greater than the attrition rate of migrators. 60% of migrations resulted in subsequent migrations. 28% of migrations followed with the SBAE teacher leaving the classroom. Only 12.4% of migrations resulted in career stability. 70% of subsequent migrations occurred within 3 years of changing schools. However, among migrators with fewer than 3 years experience, 51% left SBAE teaching after one program move. We also had significant evidence within this data that the longer an individual taught in a single program, the more likely they were to stay.
While mobility is certainly felt by communities when SBAE teachers leave, the profession, at least in this state, is not as churny as we sometimes imply. There's still more we don't know, especially if we think about the teacher career cycle. How does migration affect a teacher's movement through the cycle? How does the cycle repeat itself when a teacher changes schools? How do the influences of personal and organizational involvement change how teachers consider their mobility?
Given the likelihood of these migrators to move again, migration may not relieve career frustration. If these teachers brought unresolved career frustration to a new teaching site, there is little the organizational component could do to impact the teacher's stage in the career component and also relieve dissonance in the personal component. Since only 12.4% of migrations resulted in stability, we need to be careful how we offer career advice. Those first 3 years in a program may be as challenging or even more challenging than the first 3 years teaching, given the expectations, resources, and networks that need to be established. These challenges are often compounded by personal stressors, which accompany the migration patterns of experienced teachers. We must account for teacher support in the first 3 years in a new program toward greater retention profession-wide. Mobility is part of the career, not a unique or divergent path. But there is an unexplored tipping point at which teachers, particularly migrators, are no longer satisfied with career stability and seek to reinvigorate their practice through migration. How are migrating teachers supported in this choice?
In order to treat these teachers as assets, additional work is needed at the post-secondary level to help pre-service teachers understand the ebbs and flows of a career as a cycle and ways we should consider development over the course of a career. Further work must engage administrators in the task of onboarding staff well past their first year in a school. For those of us as teacher educators, we need to consider how we mentor and support throughout all career stages, particularly within the first 3 years after a migration. So we ask you, then what? How will you support the migrating teachers you work with?